This piece of plastic might be one of the most valuable things you will see in this channel today. Here we have a sealed Patek. This is an expression we hear normally in the market, and we also hear the NOS or new old stock term, which is our main discussion today. So today we're gonna go deep into the NOS term, new old stock. These three letters can add a lot of value to a vintage watch. So what does NOS really mean? It's always the same. How can we differentiate on a watch that is in really NOS condition or that it's been really well kept? So we have 4 examples here to answer exactly these questions. So inside this plastic bag, we can find a Patek 5100. This is a watch that Patek produced to commemorate the entry to the new millennium in 2000. And the interesting thing is that it's what we know as sealed. So it means this plastic bag has never been opened. And this is a proof that the watch has never been worn. So sealed is a term that many collectors like. And then we can also talk about new old stock. What's new old stock? New old stock means a watch that was sold to the distributor but remained in stock, so it never left the shop and thus was never being used. This term is being used correctly or wrongly by many dealers, collectors, and the point of discussion today is going to be within these watches what we think is NOS or as NOS. But well, at the end, all of them in amazing condition. So first of all, as we said, I would consider this like dead NOS or true NOS. The watch is sealed, as said, never left the bag, so we have 100% certainty that the watch has never been worn. And this gives the value to the watch and to the collector. On top, this watch comes full set with all its paperwork. It even has some commemorative medal. It has the box, so this is what a true new old stock watch would be. The sealed watches are something we can find more in the modern era. So let's say that before, for vintage watches, which is our real passion, the companies were not delivering the watches in a plastic bag or sealed or with protective stickers. This is something we find in the more modern era. And even though today retailers are obliged to detach the stickers or break these plastic bags or seal to deliver the watch to the customer, especially to avoid some reselling or to avoid some speculations. So another term that we can use or find would be like new old stock or as new old stock, okay? We could use this watch to describe. This is a 1680, first Submariner in gold produced. And this one is from 1970. One could argue this is a real new old stock. I'm quite critical normally, so I would say as new old stock. We don't have 100% certainty that the watch has not been worn. Here we had, okay? Here we don't have, but when you see the condition of the watch, there's not a scratch. The watch is totally as it was born. You can see all the chamfers, the angles. Dial is immaculate. The tritium on the dial, the lume plots, everything is perfect. Even the clasp and the bracelet, you know, it's opening in a way that you can feel it has not been opened many times. But if we want to be critical, I think these watches should be described as new old stock. Again, a piece that I don't think you would be able to find in the market, maybe in some collection, but it's very rare to find a watch from 1970 in this condition. Obviously, as we said, no stickers, no plastic bags, so this doesn't give us the certainty, but also the sticker on the caseback. You don't find these watches with a sticker. This is, well, you can read perfectly the reference, 1680. It has some scratches, obviously. Many times the scratches come from storage. You know, these watches were a set, left as a stock, and well, maybe put on the window, and sometimes you can find some like minor hairlines. But well, to be critical, like new old stock. Many people would describe it as new old stock, real new old stock. So if we move along to the next piece, okay, here we have a Rolex Daytona 6265 from 1977. We could also describe this as a new old stock watch, okay? I wouldn't stick really strictly to the term new old stock. This is a little bit more arguable because we can find some very, very small signs in the lugs of the watch that the bracelet has been detached. I don't think the watch has been used. We have the sticker also on the back showing the reference. It's really clear. The clasp, everything is fine. The dial is perfect. We have all the consistency to understand that the watch was worn like this. Thing to point out, which is also a nice discussion we could review in another video, in fact, is that the end links for this one are 57. And all collectors know that gold bracelets for Daytona, also stainless steel, especially gold, should wear 71 end links. This one comes with the 57 end links. I've seen other ones I have bought from original owners. This comes from the family of the original owner here in Spain with the box, the papers. A family I know, in fact, so better proof to know that the watch was bought directly in the retailer, okay? And probably with these 57 end links, these watches were sometimes sent by the brand without a bracelet. So it could be that the owner asked for a bracelet and then Rolex assembled the 57 end links bracelets, which we know it's more for a date. But I have seen it in other watches I have purchased from original owners before. So again, I would describe this watch as new old stock, never been polished, probably never worn. Maybe you see some hairlines on the case, but we should be careful when using new old stock, you know. So this is a watch also very difficult to find in the market, a watch in this condition. Maybe you should pull it out from collection. You don't find this nowadays. The value of these watches is very high compared to a mint watch or to a very well kept one. This is another level, okay? But it's nice to discuss either real NOS or dead stock or as NOS. All of them are amazing, but if we want to be strict, we can do this comparison. And then we would move to another watch I love, very hot watch in the market. We all know how 3970s are. You know we love them. And this is an example that we have sourced also from the family, the original family. This one also comes with the box, the papers, original papers, and this could also be described as new old stock, virtually new old stock. These watches didn't come with a seal, didn't come with a sticker, but they look, I mean, this watch looks totally unworn. You can find some hairlines, okay? But how can I prove this watch has never been worn? Even the bracelet is perfect, so probably unworn, but again, I would describe as new old stock. It's very difficult to find a watch from its era, early 90s, second series, today full set. So also the importance of the watch can mean something when talking about these terms. It's more important to find important watches in new old stock than maybe some less important watches. It's easier to find them, maybe because they were produced in bigger numbers, or maybe because of the value. But again, I'm very proud to have this small tray here with these 4 examples that are like very difficult to find in a better condition. So again, reviewing these examples, you would like to insist that the NOS term should be used with a lot of care. So many people uses this term to sell a watch like in a higher price or better. I think it's very important to use it correctly. We can have watches that are in very good condition, mint, super well kept, but worn. Even maybe just slightly worn, but we shouldn't use NOS, okay? And maybe that's why collectors like to hear a lot the new old stock term. When you know a watch is new old stock, normally you know it will be perfect. So you will have an unpolished watch, you will have a perfect dial, a watch with no dints, with no wear, and that means a very, very collectible unit. It can be for a very expensive watch, or it can be for a very simple watch, but it adds collectability to the piece. So it's also important to be able to distinguish when a watch is NOS or when a watch has been more or less prepared to look as NOS. I think it's very important to look at the consistency of the piece itself. So You could change a dial of the watch, you could restore a case, okay? But all the pieces, sometimes maybe you won't be able to know if the watch has been polished or not. You need to ask an expert. But the consistency is something that will help you a lot. I mean, maybe you find a perfect case, but the bracelet has some wear that doesn't match. Or if you open the watch, you see the movement, a movement that has been beaten up. You cannot find the beaten up movement in a new stock watch, because a new stock watch should not be serviced if it hasn't been worn. So if you find some marks in the screws or some marks on the caseback of a service, then we're facing a watch that has maybe been prepared to look as NOS. And again, the same for the dial. You can find some watches with watchmaker marks on the dial when detaching the hands, for example, and well, that means it has been serviced. Different situation might be the patina. For example, the cases. This watch shows a very consistent patina on the case, on the gold. Some watches that have been stored for many years develop this patina on gold, in the gold, or even the dials. We know those dials that become tropical, or even the tritium or the dial has some aging. Well, it doesn't mean that the watch has been worn, but a beaten up dial or a case that has some scratches or repolishing would make you doubt of a watch that is really new. And then we arrive to a point I like a lot, which is the sticker on the caseback, okay? Normally when you find a watch from 1977 or 1970 with a sticker on the caseback, you get very excited, because that means the watch was either not worn or slightly worn. But we need to be careful, because how easy is to produce a sticker and put it on the caseback. You can find many watches in the market described as new old stock, and even the sticker is not the correct one for the watch, or they put a sticker on it, they polish the watch, and they sell it as new old stock. So be careful about that. And the last thing, which it's very set in the market, and we always say the provenance, or by the dealer, not the watch, or if you're buying from a private, maybe if it's someone you know, like the case on this watch, okay? We know the family, we see the watch, but provenance is very important. The set is important also, but maybe you can find watches where the set has been lost. All these have the full set. This one came only watch. This doesn't mean you need to go away from the watch. For us, condition is way more important than all the set. But well, for modern watches, maybe you should pay attention. So provenance, important, and yeah, follow your instinct. Sometimes it's too good to be true. Think about that also. And yeah, buy from a reliable source. In a market full of watches that have been polished, restored, or really beaten up, I think finding this quality makes a difference, and one should not be scared of paying a premium for it, especially if we want to build a nice collection. I think focusing on quality is very important. And of course, we're always looking for these pieces, so if you might have one of these pieces for sale on these characteristics, we're very, very excited to be able to buy or to get on consignment. So don't hesitate in contacting us. If you found this breakdown useful, please subscribe. We'll be back with more pieces from the vault, and also for more content to our collectors, to understand not only what a watch is worth, but also why it's important. So yeah, keep in touch and see you soon.